Yo, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dee Guwap. Next up, we have Hakasho is aged beautifully by the Simple. Let's get into it.
Like most people, the first anime I've ever watched was Dragon Ball Z. It got me into other anime before I even knew what it was.
I don't think Dragon Ball Z was my first anime, but it's the first one I remember. Like, I know there was a couple like Big O, Astro Boy, and stuff like that, but Dragon Ball Z is the first one that I watched from episode 1 to the end. I'm talking Dragon Ball, not Z, like Dragon Ball through Dragon Ball Z.
Eventually led me down the path to watch other animes like Naruto, Death Note, One Punch Man, and more mature mangas like Vagabond Berserk. But there's one starter anime that I've never watched, and that's because I thought that because I didn't grow up with it, I wouldn't have nostalgia.
Oh, so the Simple just started this a year ago. His channel's new. Go fuck with him. He's a dope content creator. Getting all the Yu Yu Hakusho stuff out the way because I love Yu Yu Hakusho. It makes sense just to do it all at once, but it makes sense that he didn't watch this growing up because I think I saw this before DBZ.
To form like an emotional connection with the show. I thought it hadn't aged well, but I was wrong. I recently just finished watching Yu Yu Hakusho this year in 2022, which is 30 years after it first aired, which means my review is unbiased by nostalgia, mostly. Like I said, I grew up on Dragon Ball Z before, so Yu Yu Hakusho being so similar kinda gives the same nostalgic feeling. Besides the retro anime aesthetic, both Yu Yu Hakusho and DBZ have the same classic battle shonen tropes. Multiple tournament arcs, flashy beam attacks, and monstrous villains. What separates Yu Yu Hakusho from Dragon Ball, though, is how much more down-to-earth it is. The Dragon Ball world is constantly expanding with escalating threats from demons, to aliens, to androids, to gods. While Yu Yu Hakusho also expands into the demon realm, the characters always remain as teenagers in the real world.
Yeah, and it's like the demons of Frieza, the Frieza Force and stuff from outer space. Saiyans is not introduced in Dragon Ball. So you just think that there's stuff on Earth to worry about. And it expands like that. From episode 1, we know there's demons. And so it makes sense that the demons have a world of their own. So you feel me? Like, that's not too far out.
Yusuke especially is a way more down-to-earth character. And especially his English dub version, which is the exhibit A for my double or sub agenda. But honestly, the characters in Yu Yu Hakusho just come to life unlike any other anime. Besides maybe One Piece or JoJo's. Like, one of my favorite episodes in JoJo's is literally 2 characters going to try Italian food. And it was great due to how good the character interactions between Josuke and Okuyasu are.
Bro, these are my favorite too. I'm gonna stop pausing so much. But as I gotten older, I like slice of life animes. I like just interactions. I like just being normal. I don't need battle little composition anymore.
I think Yu Yu Hakusho might be the only other anime who can pull off an episode like this. I don't think, for example, the Attack on Titan cast can pull off an episode like this. Because Yu Yu Hakusho characters and some JoJo characters have the ability to just be entertaining through their interactions alone, outside the situation.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 standout characters to me are definitely Hiei and Kurama, especially during the early parts of the Three Kings arc, we get to see more depth of them. Kurama and his past self and dealing with Yoko Kurama, and Hiei dealing with his past and his family, they just get a lot more depth than Yusuke and Kuwabara in my opinion. As for villains, a lot of the early Spirit Detective ones are very forgettable, but the 2 that really stand out is Sensui and Toguro. If you really don't pay attention to the subtleties, you can really boil Toguro and Sensui down to basic villains with basic motivations like winning a tournament and destroying the world. But they're honestly a lot more complex than they look. Toguro simultaneously believes that his path of abandoning his humanity to becoming a demon is the right path, but based on his actions, you can see deep down that he wants Yusuke to prove him wrong. And Sensui seems rational and cunning in his plan, but if you really look closer, he's really disillusioned and broken and using the chapter black to convert others to his nihilistic mindset. Sensui has a few problems in his writing, but I think Toguro is really up there with the greatest shonen villains and should be in the conversation. The Dark Tournament arc is hailed as one of the greatest tournament arcs in anime.
Not one of the greatest, it is the greatest.
And it lives up to that, especially in the final match between Yusuke and Toguro. But by far my favorite arc in the series has to be the Chapter Black arc. It kind of falls apart near the end, but the introductions of territories made the encounters way more unique and interesting than the tournament arc. The Three Kings arc actually started very strong too, which will look
Three Kings started off strong as a bitch, but it's like they rushed it, which makes sense because Togahashi was sick of the series by then. But the Three Kings arc, if it was given probably 60 more episodes, would have been goaded. Goaded, you hear me?
like a setup for a war arc, but it looked like Togashi scrapped the idea entirely and wanted to end the story. I think the sign that Togashi was done with writing Yu Yu Hakusho was there since the end of the Sensui fight, so Yu Yu Hakusho just kind of ended abruptly, with a lot of unused potential. But despite that, I think Yu Yu Hakusho is still worth watching to this day. The emotional moments still hit hard, and I'm able to enjoy the series as if I grew up with it. Really, what makes the show very memorable is the characters and the emotional moments. So I think it's fair to say that Yu Yu Hakusho has aged beautifully.
Nicely said. This was a short video. Um, I'm going to look more at the Sipples. Go subscribe to him again. Bro, he's a dope content creator on his retrospectives on anime. But I don't disagree from the art style to the soundtrack, and their interactions is great. Like it's real. They cuss at each other. They call each other real insults, not just nerd or butt face. Like they're real insults. Yeah, I don't disagree. Tell me what your favorite arc in with that ain't that out either. Tell me what your favorite arc in Yu Yu Hakusho is down below. And be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss more content like this. And I'll catch you next time.